So we are talking about the movie Doll in the Dark, also known as The Melancholy Fantastic. This one's going to be released by Safecracker Pictures in 2017. And it's directed by Alejandro Daniel. Now, the story here is quite bizarre, I've got to say. It almost defies going in a particular genre of film. It's not really a horror film, although there are kind of horror elements in here. So I'd probably class this more of as a kind of dark drama. I'm going to be somewhat vague with the story because ultimately there's not a huge amount of plot in this. This will be one of my negatives. So I can't go too much into it. But essentially it's about this young girl who has had a bit of a tragic past. She's lost both her parents in what we believe to be somewhat tragic circumstances, and she's actually acting out her feelings with this doll, which she believes is actually her mother. So she's talking to this homemade, creepy-looking doll, and then this thing starts talking back. But is it in her head, or is there some kind of supernatural presence at play here? After that, she adds this kind of a little romance with this guy played by Robin Lord Taylor, who you may know from TV's Gotham. He plays Oswald Cobblepot, and basically he's a kind of this goth guy who kind of takes an interest in her, and they kind of strike up a bit of a romance. But where that goes, it kind of ultimately goes down to some kind of dark place. But what will that be? Like I said, this is not really a horror film. It's definitely a drama. It's a dark, twisted romance, I guess, at its core. It's disturbed but strangely magical, I would certainly say. The main plus of this film, I've got to say, is the performances. In particular, Amy Crow, whose performance is both beautiful and terrifying at the same time. She's a real powerhouse performance, I've got to say, and really kind of makes you feel a variety of things. She plays it both kind of in an innocent, wide-eyed sort of way, but also is very sort of twisted at the same sort of time. So you never quite know if you rooted for you or what. And what I also liked about this film, you don't quite know what the threat is going to be. Could this be some kind of supernatural force? Is it the doll itself? Is it coming from the girl, or is it coming from the guy? Or you just don't know. And obviously until it all kind of plays out. So what are the other positives I've got the film? I think this is quite a well-directed film. I felt this is an assured hand. It definitely got the best out of his actors, basically. Really great performances. And it's quite beautiful as well. We have this kind of, the sort of setting is this kind of cold American town over a Christmas period, which I thought was quite nice as well. Negatives, the big one for me, obviously, this is not going to be for everyone. This is a very slow film. It is almost feels like part of a story, to be quite honest. When you watch this film, this is more like a kind of a slice of life. It doesn't really follow the typical sort of three-act story sort of arc, really. It more feels like this is a kind of a slice of life from this particular girl's existence, basically. So you might feel, when you finish watching it, think, oh, I was maybe expecting a little more from it, a little bit more to do with the story. Like I said, the actual plot here is actually quite thin when it's all said and done. But like I said, this film is not going to be for everyone, but I feel it's a well-made, certainly very good drama. Very slow, I've got to say. But if you like that kind of thing, then this is definitely going to be the film for you. I do appreciate the craft that's gone into this film to make it certainly a bit of an emotional gut punch. But maybe I would have liked to see a bit more, the story be maybe a little bit more kind of expanded other than what it's got here. But ultimately, for the film that it actually is, it's very well made and it's certainly well acted. I'll definitely be looking out for young Amy Crow in the future. I think she's got a bright future ahead of her with this performance. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but definitely not going to be for everyone. I feel it might lead people to thinking, what the hell have I just watched? It doesn't really answer any questions. It's very subtle. You will have to make certain decisions on your own, I would say. It kind of gives you hints but doesn't outrightly say things a lot of the time. But overall, I kind of found it interesting, and the performances carried it to a long way for me. So I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.